More snow melting, what you should be aware of as you see more water runoff this week.
Plus, the governor facing backlash, the change in language that led to a Republican response. Good Tuesday morning, everyone, and welcome to News 3 Now This Morning. I'm Kyrie Lee.
I'm Chris Stanford. Thanks for tuning in. It's muddy out there.
Yes, it's muddy.
Just muddy and messy.
It is a hot mess out there, so especially if you have little ones, then you understand the struggle.
Man.
Because, the boots yesterday were muddy and gunky, and I'm like, we need to take those off before you get in the car.
Definitely. I know you're loving these warmer temperatures, though.
Yes. Now that I can smile about.
Looks like they're going to be hanging around. Meteorologist Vanna Brito's out on the patio to let us know what we can expect here. Hey.
Yeah. Hey, guys. Good morning. The warmer temperatures will stick around, luckily, for anyone that is wanting spring to finally get here. Really just a little bit of snow behind me. A lot of it, the majority of the snow did melt because we actually hit 54 degrees in Madison yesterday. We did see a few showers on radar. This is a loop over the last 3 hours, but skies really cleared out quickly, and we'll see mild temperatures yet again both this morning and later in the day, where we will top out at 50 this afternoon. Upper 40s, lower 50s for most across southern Wisconsin. We'll see lots of sunshine. That was a stretch from yesterday. We had a lot of cloud cover out there, and it was breezy. That really won't be the case. Winds are going to stay around 5 to 10 miles per hour, so we shouldn't have that much of a wind chill out there, which is good news. And meteorological spring just 4 days away. Saturday starts March 1st out, and then the spring equinox only 22 days away. That happens March 20th, so we just have a little bit longer to go, and these warmer temperatures makes it hard to think that we have that much longer to go because it feels like spring.
Yeah, I know. I wish we could just, skip the cool temperatures and head right into spring.
I know. It smells like spring out here again this morning.
It does. It's like the earth is waking up.
Yeah,
it's like
which
all
I love.
All that soil's finally like, I can breathe. Okay. It's a lot of snow that we've lost here in the last couple of days, and it's all got to go somewhere.
Exactly. And our Armand Rahman has more from experts about what to do with that runoff.
As temperatures spike this week, as quick as the snow came, it seems it's now leaving. But where that water is going to go could cause some concern.
If those are clogged up, then the water will back up and it will create a pond across the street.
That's why Cyril McDermott doesn't put the shovel away when snow begins to melt.
As I try to clean out as much of the snow out of the grates that I can.
And that's what Wisconsin SaltWise wants you to do as temperatures rise during the day and potentially refreeze at night.
So that we don't have to then go back out and try to use salt or mechanically remove it.
These big melts drive up salt levels in rivers and streams to as high as 1,000 milligrams per liter. So this little taste of spring has been a taste that kills fish and wildlife.
Because we can go up above the acute toxicity limit for these organisms. So it can just kill things off really quickly when we have these surges in salt levels.
Program manager Allison Madison says the cycle of heavy snow, some colder temps, and a rapid warm-up is becoming more common. Because of that, she's seen more private snow removal companies load salt into parking lots.
And so a lot of the salt that's gone down this winter has just stayed either in parking lots, maybe some snow piles, soils, and so they have been held a little bit in the landscape.
In terms of flooding your property with water, officials with Dane County Emergency Management says there hasn't been enough snowpack or rain to worry yet.
But it is something that will be watched for over the next few days.
But you should still clear your gutters and downspouts.
So that if we were to get rainfall in combination with a quick snow melt, you don't have those get clogged up and cause water to kind of pour into your basement.
And make sure your insurance covers flooding.
It only takes about an inch of water to cause over $20,000 of damage in a home.
Reporting in Madison, Armand Rahman, News 3 Now.
Well, 6 days, that is how long Dane County snowmobilers had on the trails this year. As of right now, all snowmobile trails in the county are closed. They first opened on Sunday the 16th and were closed by Friday the 21st. In the Madison area, all outdoor ice rinks are also closed for the season.
6:04, Republicans are criticizing Governor Tony Evers for language proposed in a state budget bill. The changes are to some of the references to gender in a section about in vitro fertilization. As example, the measure changes the term mother to inseminated person and husband to spouse. Evers defended the bill's choice of words.
We're working for the families in Wisconsin, especially those that are receiving IVF services, and making sure that we can make certain that the mom is able to get the services she deserves.
Republicans say the bill's language is offensive to mothers. They said the governor is out of touch with ordinary citizens in the state, and to refer to a woman as an inseminated person is wrong. State Representative Amanda Nedweski responded in part saying, quote, Governor Evers is a former science teacher. It appears to me that he needs a refresher on basic biology. Last I checked, only one gender is capable of giving birth, women. Anyone who says otherwise is denying science.
New legislation in Washington would make prescription drugs cheaper by importing them from Canada. The bill is being introduced by a group of bipartisan legislators, including Wisconsin Senator Tammy Baldwin. The bill would lower costs and create more competition in the pharmaceutical market. In a statement to News 3 Now, Senator Baldwin took aim at the pharmaceutical industry, saying big drug companies are ripping off Americans and far too many families in Wisconsin are struggling to afford the prescription drugs that they need just to stay healthy. It's just not right. In 2022, Congress passed the Inflation Reduction Act to lower health care and prescription drug costs. The cost savings for the first 10 drugs will go into effect next year.
Residents in Oregon will see an operational referendum on their ballots in April. Starting today, residents can attend information sessions in order to learn more about the village's funding challenges. The first session takes place today at 2 p.m. at the Oregon Area Senior Center. There will also be a session on March 4th, 19th, and 27th. For more information about this, you can visit our website, channel3000.com.
Many states, including Wisconsin, are getting hit hard by the flu season. The CDC says Wisconsin has had moderately high to very high flu activity. The latest numbers from UW Health show they had 100 people admitted for flu from February 4th to the 18th. 28 of those are hospitalized as of last week. The strain causing the most trouble is actually tied to the Badger State.
The predominant strain is an influenza A 2009 H1N1, primarily identified actually here in Wisconsin. So many places in the world actually call it Wisconsin strain of influenza A.
DHS says only a third of Wisconsin residents have received at least one dose of the flu vaccine.
The new standards for labeling a food healthy has been pushed back. The FDA says the new rule will start on April 28th. The update was supposed to go into effect today. However, last month, President Donald Trump issued a pause on new rules. The new requirements include a limit on added sugars and sodium. Food companies have until 2028 to update their products if they want to use the healthy label.
Well, news from the UN this morning, a significant policy shift as the U.S. split from European allies, refusing to blame Russia for the war in Ukraine. President Trump says that he believes Russia and Ukraine are close to signing a peace agreement. He made those comments during a visit from French President Emmanuel Macron, who named Russia as the aggressor for the war in Ukraine. Meanwhile, Russian President Vladimir Putin says he has not discussed the war yet with the U.S.
Early this morning, the Vatican offered a new update on Pope Francis, saying he rested well overnight. The kidney issue discovered over the weekend, not a concern for cause, according to the Vatican. But the 88-year-old pontiff remains in critical condition. This comes over 10 days after he was hospitalized with double pneumonia. Pope Francis had been able to resume some work on Monday while inside the hospital in Rome. He called the parish of Gaza, which he's done consistently since 2023.
Apple announcing some plans to invest $500 billion in the U.S. over the next 4 years. Apple says that the investment will create 20,000 jobs. The announcement comes after President Trump imposed a 10% tariff on all Chinese imports. Most of Apple's iPhones are manufactured in China. The multi-billion-dollar investment includes building a server manufacturing facility in Houston. It will also expand data center operations in 5 states.
Starbucks CEO announced it will be laying off over 1,100 corporate workers. Plus, several hundred open and unfilled positions will be eliminated. The coffee chain will also eliminate about 30% of its food and beverage offerings over the next few months. That's to streamline its menu.
Hey, a reminder, our Spirit of Service campaign is going on right now. We're honoring local veterans making a big impact in the community, and we need you to tell us about it. News 3 Now is partnering up with Vortex again on this, and all you have to do is log on to channel3000.com and nominate a veteran in your life who's doing something phenomenal. Share their stories with us. We'll share those with the public, and then you get to choose which veteran takes home a $5,000 cash prize. A winner will be announced in early April.
Well, let's check in with Savannah. What's coming up?
Guys, we're tracking another very mild day where temperatures across most of southern Wisconsin should top out at 50, our average high 35. We'll talk about how long this will stick around.
And coming up in your morning sports, hey, our team is expanding to bring you more coverage of the Packers. You're going to hear from the veteran reporter that we just hired coming up after the break.
Now this morning, moving forward.
We're back at 6:13. A mom in Maryland is telling her story to raise awareness that heart disease can affect everyone. Natalie Brand shares her story.
Kristen King counts every day as a blessing.
Life can stop at any point in time, and you never know when that will be. I was healthy. I had never had a heart problem in my life, and I needed a complete new organ.
She's talking about the heart transplant she received in September of 2023, 4 months after her heart began to fail after childbirth.
I started having problems breathing in the middle of the night. I wasn't able to lay down. I wasn't able to drink or eat.
We checked up all the symptoms after pregnancy.
That's when King's husband, Gavin, insisted she go to the ER. It turns out she was suffering from peripartum cardiomyopathy. Doctors say the condition is rare, but can happen in the last month of pregnancy or within a few months of delivery. Symptoms include fatigue, heart palpitations, and shortness of breath.
Be your own advocate for your own health, meaning if you really feel something is not right and something's off, seek care.
Dr. Philip Lamb, a heart failure and transplant cardiologist at Washington Hospital Center, describes King's case as rare and very aggressive. She remained hospitalized, her newborn Gage at home while she waited for a donor. 11 hours of surgery later, King had a new shot at life. She now wears a bracelet to honor her donor and all they've given her.
Every day I just imagined my family and not being there for them and what their lives would be like.
King is now about 1.5 years into what her family describes as a lifelong recovery.
It's kind of surreal. Like I said, I have little moments that mean the world to me.
Where's baby Gage? A fight she never expected, but one that's put everything in perspective. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Maryland.
Kristen also wants to raise awareness about the importance of donors.
It's estimated that there are more than 100,000 people on the waiting list for an organ transplant nationwide these days.
All right, so she's doing her due diligence of raising awareness here.
Yeah.
Well, let's check in now with meteorologist Savannah Brito, who's getting us up to date with what you need to know today. Good morning.
Good morning. We had a few showers overnight, but all of that quickly clearing. We'll see lots of sunshine and warmer temperatures. The difference, temperatures are still going to be warm today, but between yesterday and what we'll see today, it's not going to be as breezy, and we'll see as a whole much more sunshine than what we had yesterday. We saw a little bit of that, very minimal. Temperatures will top out in the upper 40s, lower 50s again as clouds continue to clear through the rest of the day. Winds are back out of the west later this afternoon, and then they'll rebound and transition back out of the south. That'll warm us up again tomorrow. Although it will be a little bit cooler tomorrow, it'll still be well above average. And then some shower activity late tonight into early Wednesday morning. That'll start north of here, maybe mix in with some patchy freezing drizzle and light snow showers. That's not going to lead to any accumulation with the wintry mix that we see, and that's mainly going to be north and northwest of Madison. I think for most of us, some scattered showers, regular rain that we'll see later in the day, in the morning, and then later tomorrow, just because temperatures will be warm. This is now lunchtime, still a few showers north of Madison that passes, and then cloud cover going to quickly decrease with that as well. It's not our only chance of precipitation though going forward. We have another chance, a few light snow showers at best Thursday. I don't really think that's going to lead to any accumulation here. We briefly see sky conditions clear, and then we will see another chance. I think this will come as snow. Our temperatures are still going to be warm Friday, but mainly northeast of here, that's where I think the bigger impact's going to be. If we're able to see precipitation here, I think for the most part that's going to be rain, because we still are in the forecast or forecasting the 50s, at least right about 50 degrees on Friday. Into the weekend, a bigger cool down, so we will see the 30s, some sunshine Sunday, and then we're back up to 50 on Monday. Warmer temperatures last through midweek next week.
Boy, you think this is it? Is this spring?
No, we'll see another cool down, I'm sure. It's only about to be March, so, you know, living in southern Wisconsin.
I haven't had enough fresh snow yet. Yeah. I need some more snow.
Excuse me.
I'm sure it'll snow again.
I haven't had enough. Haven't had my fill.
And we have
Call me
22
greedy.
days till spring.
We had a big snowstorm. I did like an ice cream story when I was working in Rockford last year, and our opening day, I was helping scoop volunteering. We had a huge snowstorm.
There you go. There you go.
Well, let's not have a repeat of that.
Yeah, hopefully it stays warm.
All right, thanks, Savannah.
You're welcome.
Hey, some exciting sports news to share with everybody this morning. Channel3000.com is expanding its daily coverage of the Packers. We've added beat writer Jason Wilde to the team. Our Eric Franke spoke to him about his new role.
Jason Wilde, the newest member of our Channel 3000 team with exclusive content covering the Packers this offseason. Jason, great to have you on board. Let's talk about what a special offseason this could be for the green and gold, especially with the draft on our Wisconsin soil.
Yeah, the draft in Green Bay is a huge deal, but this is a big offseason for the Packers as a whole. Brian Gutekunst has issued the challenge that we need to ramp up our urgency, compete for championships. That means him too, as I wrote at channel3000.com. They need to make some moves that get this team over the hump that they've been unable to surpass the last two seasons.
Well, Jason, you're going to be based up in Green Bay, which really gives us some great access to the team. You've been covering them for so long. When you think about, the years that you've covered these teams, what are some of your, maybe one of your favorite teams or moments that you've covered with this team?
Yeah, unfortunately, I've covered a lot of heartbreak for Packers fans, along with 2 Super Bowl championships. But I covered a Super Bowl loss. I covered 4th and 26. I covered Seattle in 2014 in the NFC Championship game. So for our viewers and our readers, I hope I'm bringing you more happy news than I brought heartbreak in past stops.
I was actually in the press box with you when you had to cancel a flight after 4th and 26 in Philadelphia. It was a heartbreaking moment. But Jason, it's great to have you on board, man. Thank you.
Thanks, Eric.
There we go. Wilde and Franke, maybe the next podcast on channel3000.com.
And we know Eric, his whole background is sports, so this is going to be great for him.
Eric is a huge addition. Can't overstate how excited we are to have him contribute to our channel3000.com coverage, the Packers. What an asset. Looking forward to talking with him pretty soon here.
Yes.
Hopefully.
But still ahead, a stunning display of nature. Well, actually, we're going to have some trivia for you coming up in our next block.
Coming up in our next half hour, the reason behind Metro Transit service interruptions last week.
And before we head to break, a look at gas prices. Time now 6:20. We'll be right back.
Today we are testing our knowledge when it comes to Black history in honor of Black History Month. So without further ado, we are going to take Max full and get started with our trivia.
Wait, why'd you use the technical terms?
I don't know.
This is Max, by the way.
Who was the first African American to serve in the U.S. Supreme Court? Thurgood Marshall, Clarence Thomas, Muhammad Ali, or Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.?
Not D, not C.
It's A.
Okay, Chris?
Yeah, I'm going A.
I'm going to go with A.
All right, you guys are correct. Clarence Thomas succeeded Marshall as the second African American in the Supreme Court, but Thurgood Marshall was indeed the first.
All right.
Next, which of the following genres originated from Black musical styles? Rock and roll, house, hip hop, or R&B? Oh, come on, tell
All
me.
of them.
Yep.
Okay, well,
gosh.
yeah.
I was going to say.
Whatever, I was trying to give you guys an easy one.
I was going to go into great detail. Well, we could go back to the rock and roll.
Right. Blues, jazz, gospel, and soul are also genres originating from Black musical styles as well.
Okay.
All right, we got a little bit of trickier one up here. In what month do other countries celebrate Black History Month? April, February, October, or November?
This is a trick question. I'm going to go trick question, and I'm going to say February.
Okay.
I'm going to say A.
I'm going to say October.
Okay, so we've got Kyrian A for April, B for February and Chris, C for October with Savannah.
Okay.
Savannah is correct.
Learn
Countries
something.
like Ireland, the UK, and the Netherlands celebrate in October each year.
Very
Yes.
nice.
Now, the celebration did start in the US, but it's also recognized in Canada in February as well.
Fascinating, all right.
The more you know.
I didn't know that one either. I thought that was very interesting. And our last one, who was the first Black artist to win a Grammy for Album of the Year?
Ooh.
Beyonce, Ray Charles, Prince, or Stevie Wonder?
I'm going to go with D.
D, Stevie Wonder.
Who's the first black artist? I'm gonna say A.
I'm going Stevie Wonder.
All right. You guys are correct with Stevie Wonder for his album Inversions.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Thank you, Michelle Renee.
Awesome. That was
Thank you
great.
for doing trivia with us.
Yay.
We'll be back.
Fantastic. We're back after this. This morning, Metro drivers speak up. The reason for the recent service disruptions and how riders are reacting.
Plus, toll scams, how fraudsters are tricking people out of their money, and how to avoid falling for it.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Thanks for tuning in to News 3 Now this morning. I'm Chris Stanford.
And I'm Kyrie Unley. Thanks for waking up with us this morning. I will say, going outside this week has been a change in pace from last week, and I'm happy about it.
Yeah, a little different out there, but it's really messy. Oh, it's so muddy out there.
It is. I can deal with the mess as long as these temperatures stay on the up and up. But let's check in with Savannah to see how our morning is shaping up. Savannah?
Is that her mic?
Hey, Savannah.
Died for a second.
There we go.
My mic is alive now, guys. Yeah, it's definitely warm outside, not only early, but as a whole, the entire day shaping up to be similar to yesterday, but it won't be breezy and we'll see a lot of sunshine. So we're off to a positive note already. Beautiful sunrise out there. There's really no clouds in sight, and the temperature trend will decline a little bit. We're back down to the 40s Wednesday and Thursday, but then back into the 50s for Friday before the cool down over the weekend. We'll talk about if that cool down will extend into the first full week of March or if we'll see temperatures rebound yet again, guys.
All right, Savannah. Glad we could hear you. Thank you.
Yes, loud and clear.
Hey, we're learning more about the reason behind the recent disruption to Metro Transit.
Madison Metro drivers say they don't want to work overtime. However, city officials say overtime is a regular need. Officials say typically around 40 drivers a day will work overtime. Last Thursday, only 4 of them worked overtime because a significant number of absences that day caused 18 routes to be canceled.
So drivers are asking the city for livable wages, but are limited in how they can bargain. By law, city employees can't formally go on strike. And they say that they realize that short staffing, even for just one day like last Thursday, left riders in the lurch.
I had to call the boss man, tell him I'm going to be late.
I ended up waiting here for like 40 minutes for my bus that never came.
I was trying to wait on the bus, it ain't come. I'm like, dang, you know what I'm saying? I'm freezing to death. I had to walk to my destination.
I ride the bus like pretty much every day, and these bus drivers sometimes have to go through a lot, and I think they, deserve more.
We reached out to Teamsters Local 120, the union representing Metro employees. Representative tells us that they can't say anything right now and they'll talk after this week's negotiations. As for the city of Madison, they have told us that police and fire employees got a 3% wage increase last year, and they added that they would work towards parity with other employees like bus drivers who bargain with them.
6:32. If you're in the market for a new car, the Wisconsin Department of Transportation is warning people to be cautious and stay on the lookout for fraud.
Our consumer reporter Michelle Renee Quinn is here with the warning and what we need to know. Good morning.
Chris, Kyrian, good morning. There is a reported increase of fraud cases when it comes to buying a car online. Now, the scheme starts online as a fake storefront. Scammers create a website or social media profile claiming to be a Wisconsin dealership. The fake site may use stock pictures of real Wisconsin dealerships. Vehicles listed on the fake site are usually priced below market value with no in-person contact with the dealer. To help avoid getting scammed, the DOT says you can review vehicle purchasing information on their website. You can also review the department's list of active dealers to verify. And we have those links attached to this story on channel3000.com. And if you're unsure about a site, easy signs to spot a possible fraudulent website are to watch for spelling or grammatical errors and research the dealership ahead of time.
Yeah, we'll say it again. If the deal looks too good to be true,
it probably
is. Thanks, Michelle Renee.
Absolutely.
Hey, if you're considering buying a new car, get ready to pay a lot. The average price for a new car last month was over $48,000. Kelly Blue Book says that's around $11,000 more than it was 5 years ago. Experts say prices could go up even more, too, because of proposed tariffs. President Trump has proposed 25% tariffs on all imported cars beginning in April. Prices on American cars are likely to go up as well because many U.S. companies have plants overseas.
Well, that's not the only scam we're tracking in transportation. In another scheme, scammers are attempting to convince people they owe an unpaid toll. Drivers across the country are receiving texts threatening legal action if they don't pay. The fake texts are often sent from an international number and can include a link to pay. Experts say if you identify a text as fake, you can report it as junk and block the number. But some say scammers are finding a way around this.
When I block the number, they send more the different phone numbers. It's incredible. They have many phone numbers.
Experts say if you receive a text and worry it may be legit, don't use any contact info in the text. Instead, reach out directly to the tolling agency. Use a phone number or website you know is real.
2 people and 2 pets are dead after a gas leak in Monroe County. Monroe County Sheriff's Office says that the leak happened at a home on Hobby Road in the town of Oakdale. Someone who knows the people living there didn't hear from them and then checked in on them. Crews ended up pulling a teenage girl from the home, pronounced her dead at the scene. Emergency crews also found a man and 2 pets inside. Investigators were able to find the source of the gas, but they did not elaborate.
A proposed charter school will not go ahead. The McKinsey Foundation and the Boys and Girls Clubs of Dane County have withdrawn their plans. They would have launched a program called Forward Career and College Academy. Instead, they'll collaborate with the Madison Metropolitan School District on workforce development solutions. MMSD Superintendent Dr. Joe Gothard says the district is committed to expanding career preparation and work-based learning for students. Local philanthropist John McKenzie says he aims to finalize a workforce plan within a year.
Well, new this morning, the White House is walking back a demand that federal workers explain what they did last week. The original deadline to do so has passed, and what happens next is unclear. Here's what we know. Elon Musk, who heads Doge, is extending the deadline. He said that those who don't respond will be considered to have resigned. The Office of Personnel Management, though, sent the original email to workers and now says that employees are encouraged to respond, but not required. Even some Republicans are calling for clarity.
Just ease up a little bit so we can actually get some really good things done, but make sure it's concisely done without a lot of negativity.
I really wanted to hear their concerns, and let's work together about how can we find you the next job.
It's unclear at this point how many workers responded to that email with their accomplishments from last week.
The U.S. Supreme Court will not hear arguments in cases involving protest areas around abortion clinics. A lawsuit called for wiping out these zones. The move will leave those restrictions in place for now. Lower courts had also tossed out both appeals. They are based on a 2000 decision from the Supreme Court that upheld a similar buffer law in Colorado. 2 conservative justices said they would have heard the cases.
Your eggs could soon be coming from the country of Turkey. To deal with the shortage, Turkey is set to export 420 million eggs to the U.S. this year. Experts warn, though, that this increase won't make much of a dent. That's especially true if the bird flu continues to kill birds at the current pace.
Jo-Ann Fabrics is set to close all of its locations. The closures follow the company's auction sale to a new ownership group. The chain filed for bankruptcy twice over the last year with plans to keep some locations open. But now company officials say all of its more than 800 locations will close. Going out of business sales will be held at all Jo-Ann stores. The chain will no longer accept returns, and gift cards will only be valid through this Friday.
Well, the R&B scene lost a good one this week. Roberta Flack, longtime singer, died yesterday in Manhattan after a 3-year battle with ALS. Flack started in jazz music before moving to soul. She's known for hit songs in the early 70s, including Killing Me Softly with his song. In 2006, she created a school for music for children. She has several notable honors, including a Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award and a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Roberta Flack, 88 years old.
A big influence for lots of artists. So, yes.
I'm telling you, Killing Me Softly has been stuck in my head all morning.
Yes. I mean, it's pretty catchy. So, there you go.
Oh, she'll be missed.
Coming up after the Breakout One event is raising money for cancer research, and how familiar faces at News 3 Now are part of the cause.
And we're tracking another mild day ahead with lots of sunshine. Highs should reach right near the 50-degree mark again across southern Wisconsin this afternoon. We'll talk about the rain that's on the way, though, tonight.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning. Moving forward.
Christian Andreessen from Madison, Wisconsin. Hey, Savannah. Plan my day.
Well, Christian and Madison, enjoy the sunshine and the warm temperatures while we do have them. It was a stretch from what we had yesterday. Temperatures will be a A little bit cooler, but we won't see cloudy conditions or breezy conditions. Winds are actually expected to stay between about 5 and 10 miles per hour as temperature highs climb once again into the upper 40s and lower 50s. But we did hit 54 yesterday in Madison. I think temps will be overall a couple degrees cooler. The reason we're having these warm temperatures is because the strong blocking high off the Pacific Northwest coast, that's allowing our jet stream to be pushed a little further north, and that's what's separating the colder air that we have across Canada and portions of northeastern United States and the warm air most of the United States is dealing with. That starts to break down a little bit and allowed rain chances to return to the forecast tonight, but that further breaks down once we get closer to the weekend. That's why temperatures are going to be a lot cooler over Saturday and Sunday compared to what we're tracking today and the next couple of days. Winds are out of the west, lots of sunshine with highs near 50, and then our winds back out of the south briefly overnight, and shower chances are going to return late tonight, mainly north of Madison, maybe mixed where temperatures are closer to freezing level with that patchy freezing drizzle and maybe even some lighter snow showers. But I think across most of southern Wisconsin, because temperatures are going to still be in the mid to even upper 30s overnight, scattered showers for the majority of us. As we get closer to tomorrow afternoon, that could still mix in with some rain and snow. That's mainly going to be north and northeast of Madison still at that point in time. So scattered showers, and then we'll clear. Some flurries can't be ruled out Thursday. That would be our next chance of precipitation. Light at best, and that's not going to lead to any accumulation here. Friday into Saturday's system, I think we'll see some rain with this, some drizzle, and snow chances are better as this track continues to trend further north. That's where accumulating snow is going to be. So Green Bay and then even northeast in comparison to that area. Our temperatures are still expected to be warm as we're heading into Friday, and then there'll be a bigger cool down with cooler air wrapped in behind that. 35 only Saturday and 38 Sunday, but that's pretty much where we should be, so not bad. And then we warm right back up again, at least for early to midweek next week. Temperatures expected to still be near 50 Monday and then in the 40s Tuesday and Wednesday before another cool down. So we still got a lot of ups and downs, but not as low as what we had last week.
All right, so just, 3 more weeks till spring.
Yeah, we only have 3 weeks.
Are we going to keep this momentum?
I still think we'll see a little bit of cool weather here and there, but overall it looks to stay near normal or slightly above average. Give or take a couple days where we're going to be near 50, which is significantly above average.
Okay.
So long snow.
Yeah.
I think we'll still get another snow.
That would be
only
wonderful.
February, what, 25th
I'd love to see
today,
it.
so.
Only? I mean, like,
it's been a weird
let's
winter.
Wrap this up.
Yeah.
Let's wrap it up.
I'm with you.
All right.
Savannah, thank you. Well, if you want Savannah to play in your day, she'd love to do so, of course. So just record a video like you saw earlier. Share your name and where you live, then send it our way. You can send it via our website, the First Warn Weather app, Facebook Messenger, or email. Don't be shy. Then watch this time every morning to see if you come on the air. The Greater Madison community saw another record-setting night for cancer research. That's where our very own Josh Spider emceed the Andy North Trivia Night.
And the reason why he is not with us this morning.
Exactly.
His co-MC, also a familiar face, who shared why she wants people to donate.
Is the man behind Dad's Progress, who has been through everything with us. Hard questions, harder answers. That's Dr. Lang right there.
That was former News 3 Now This Morning anchor Leah Linscheid sharing her dad's story of being diagnosed with cancer and the treatment that he received at Carbone Cancer Center. She surprised her dad with his doctor at Trivia Night. The evening benefits the Carbone Cancer Center with host Andy North making an appearance. Organizers raised $130,000 last night, beating last year's record of $125,000. News 3 Now continues to be a proud sponsor.
Way to go. The community really came through. I love to see this.
That's some serious money.
Yes, it is. Well, a new name is coming to our leadership here at News 3 Now and our parent company, Morgan Murphy Media. Broadcasting and media veteran Scott Chastain will be our station's vice president and general manager. He has a rich history of work in television. He has served as general manager for stations in Lansing and Sacramento. Most recently, he was director of sales and marketing in Salt Lake City. Chastain spent more than 2 decades at NBC. He eventually rose to become the network's head of affiliate marketing. He comes in for our previous GM, Lyle Banks, who retired at the end of last year.
Chastain said in a statement that I'm looking forward to driving even greater success for the Madison businesses and across the entire portfolio for the brand, content, digital, revenue, and operations. The reputation of the company precedes itself, and I'm excited to be a part of the team that takes us to the next level. Chastain begins early March. We look forward to having him on.
Well, 2 years ago, we introduced you to Sierra Collins. She's a Wisconsin native who does cheerleading at an elite level despite her disability.
Collins is proving once again that the sky is the limit. She's qualified for one of the highest cheer tournaments in the world. Our Tanisha Shaw shares her story.
Sierra Collins is a quadruple sport athlete, competing in cheer,
basketball, track, and soccer.
Do you have a favorite?
All of them.
Sierra and her mom, Trisha Collins, dedicate their lives to sports.
Gone through a lot. We've traveled. We've been on different teams, and she's accomplished a lot. She's won a lot of competitions.
After years of competing and only receiving a high five or a good job, she joined an elite cheer squad in Illinois to compete at a higher level.
She watched the other teams get medals and plaques and awards, as she calls them, and rings and things that she wasn't getting, and she wasn't really traveling, so we kind of ventured out into what is known as the elite world, which is what she's in now, which is the highest level of cheer abilities.
Now, she is the only athlete from Wisconsin on the U.S. national team for the Special Olympics at the 2025 International Cheer Union Competition.
For me, I think this is the biggest level you can get to. And so for me, it was like, that's a huge deal.
It's one of the biggest cheer tournaments in the world.
I think for me, knowing she's going to come out there wearing, USA on her warm-ups and opening ceremonies with other countries and other athletes is just, it kind of makes it all worth it.
Sierra is 24 years old and she was born with an anoxic brain injury and autism. Cognitively, doctors say she functions as a 6-year-old.
As a young child, we were always told that she wouldn't be able to do things and she wouldn't be able to do the things that she's doing.
Now, Sierra needs your help to secure her next ring.
It's something she genuinely loves. And so, paying for those uniforms and paying for the everything extra that comes in cheer. I mean, cheer is definitely not cost-friendly.
When the DeForest Police Department heard about the cause, they were excited to help.
Like if people or businesses donate over the $100, they can buy an officer of their choice, and we'll split that.
The ICU competition takes place in Orlando in April. Are you nervous?
No.
Reporting in Endeavor, Tanisha Shaw, News 3 Now.
I love that. We have more information on our website on how to donate. Just visit the story at channel3000.com.
Congratulations. We're rooting for you. Coming up in the morning sprint, an emergency landing after an in-flight incident caught on video.
And look who's 3, Jacob and Colt. Happy birthday, kiddos. We're back with the morning sprint right after this. .6:53, time for the morning sprint.
In Monroe County, crews found a man, a teenage girl, and 2 pets dead after a gas leak. The Monroe County Sheriff's Office says the leak happened at a home on Hobby Road in the town of Oakdale. An acquaintance of the people living there had not heard from them and decided to check in. Investigators were able to find the source of the gas but did not elaborate.
A proposed charter school will not go ahead in Madison. The McKenzie Foundation and the Boys and Girls Clubs of Dane County withdrew their plans. They would have launched a program called Forward Career and College Academy. Instead, they'll collaborate with the Madison Metro School District on workforce development solutions.
Happening today, it's the first of 4 informational sessions on the Village of Oregon's operational referendum. People can attend the sessions to learn more about the village's funding challenges. The first session is this afternoon at 2 at the Oregon Area Senior Center. There will also be sessions on March 4th, 19th, and 27th. For more information about these sessions, you can visit channel3000.com.
Joann Fabrics is set to close all of its locations now. The closures follow the company's auction sale to a new ownership group. The chain filed for bankruptcy twice in the last year. Going out of business sales will be held soon at all Joann's stores. The chain's no longer going to accept returns, and gift cards are only going to be good through this Friday.
Starbucks CEO says it will be laying off over 1,100 corporate workers. Plus, several hundred open and unfilled positions will be eliminated. The coffee chain will also eliminate about 30% of its food and beverage offerings over the next few months to streamline its menu. The chain has seen 4 straight quarters of sales decline.
2 people are recovering after an emergency landing of a Delta flight. Take a look at this. The FAA says possible smoke filled the cabin during yesterday's flight. Flight attendants told passengers to breathe through their clothing and stay low. After the plane landed in Atlanta, you can see here the 94 passengers and 5 crew members got off. Some had to use the evacuation slide. It's unclear what that smoke actually was.
People in the Vatican continue to pray for the health of Pope Francis. The Vatican says the pontiff remains in critical condition, but there's been some improvement in his laboratory test. The Pope has been in the hospital since last Friday for a number of health issues. Doctors have said his condition is touch and go.
Finally, our parent company, Morgan Murphy Media, welcoming a couple of new names to the team. First, we're adding Green Bay Packers beat writer Jason Wilde to our web presence. He's part of our expanded daily coverage of the Packers. We're also welcoming brand new general manager, Scott Chastain. He replaces Lyle Banks, who retired last month. Chastain will begin in early March.
Enjoy the warm spring-like temperatures that we're going to continue to see at least for the work week. We are going to see a high of 50 again this afternoon. Lots of sunshine. It's not going to be as breezy, and then temps will be a little bit cooler in the 40s Wednesday and Thursday, but that's still a lot above where we should be for this time of year. Back up to 51 Friday, and then a bigger cool down into the weekend.
All right, so we just need to get out and about and enjoy those 50s while we can.
Yeah, I went for a walk yesterday, gonna do the same today.
Yes, looking real good. Savannah, thank you.
We'll have a news and weather update in 30 minutes.